The purpose of the justice system is to create safe environments for the public. But what's happening with these cases is the courts are, in reality, they're creating a very unsafe situation for these people. For instance, if you have a young girl who's picked up a DUI and doesn't necessarily have serious issues with substance abuse, but maybe with drinking, putting her in AA is throwing her into a shark tank. You know, I'm hearing the courts ordering people to this program, and you would assume that the courts, if they're ordering people to a program, that these programs are competent and professional, and it turns out that they're not. My understanding was it was treatment programs administered by treating professionals, healthcare professionals, people that have training in counseling, training in substance abuse, training in alcohol abuse, and come to find out it's more of a kumbaya, let's all hold hands and pray for each other kind of thing. And when you're talking about mixing men and women together in a situation where many of the men are violent criminals or have violent criminal past, with these young women that are in a vulnerable state to start with, it's like putting gas on fire. And that's kind of what I'm finding out, is that AA has this, this belief or this value system that anything that happens in AA or is talked about in AA stays in AA. And I get that for some confidentiality reasons, but they take it as far as if you're abused in AA by another AA member, that's not reported, it's kept in AA. So if you have somebody who's abusing another AA member, rather than reporting it to the police, they try to handle it in-house. And in this case that I'm involved in, I think is what happened, is that you had somebody that was abusing two AA members, one abusing the other, and the AA sponsors are aware of it and they're watching it develop. And rather than intervening with the proper authorities, they just tried to handle it themselves, and it obviously didn't work.
And anything else you would like to say?
Probably a lot. I mean, the thing that's troubling to me is that throughout society, if you are a convicted felon, or if you have problems in a particular area, you're usually directed away from those areas. For instance, if you're a registered sex offender, you're not supposed to be near schools, or you're not supposed to be in situations that would lend themselves to possibly reoffending or putting people at risk. The trouble with AA is that I'm seeing is that many of the people that are administering this program are people that have had serious problems with alcohol and drugs themselves, and they have recovered in many cases, and you have to give them credit for that. But that doesn't qualify them to all of a sudden now be a counselor and all of a sudden be qualified to help somebody else through a problem that sometimes is very, very complicated. And the other thing that bothers me, this is something else I've found out, is that people that are in drug and alcohol classes are being referred over to AA and vice versa. And it's kind of this community of people that, and many are well-intentioned, I'm not saying they're not, but there's a community of people out there that maybe aren't so well-intentioned, that are I know it's a business, it's a money-making business, and safety is not a priority with these businesses at all. This is a situation that has been occurring on a more regular basis throughout the country, and I think somebody has to take the case to bring it to the attention of the public and basically stop what's happening within AA.